Welcome back, YouTube. I just dropped my phone from not paying attention to where the hell I'm stepping. Go me. I'm just continuing. I just picked it up, looked over. It doesn't seem to be much in the way of additional damage, so that's a good thing. It's 5:56 p.m. Saturday, March 26, 2022. Still in Portland. I don't think this is considered downtown. It sure feels like downtown to me, though. So I lost my. I dropped my phone by. My vision is so bad that looked flat to me, and this is actually a platform for boarding the streetcar which rolls through here, and that's just rails. So gotta be careful of that kind of stuff. So this is what I was, before I dropped my phone and got cut off mid-sentence, this was wanting to point out is it looks like this wasn't always a pedestrian street and was maybe kind of recently converted to a pedestrian street, because here you can see where the sidewalk was, where the sidewalk ended, and what looks like it was the edge of a curb that has been where it's been filled in with these bricks level to the edge of the curb. So, and yeah, here you see the bricks going down to the curb level, the street level. So that's pretty fascinating to me. And if y'all find it boring, well, tough shit. This is my vlog. I film what I want. So let's see. This is Whitaker Street. These are kind of neat looking street signs. I haven't seen this type of street sign before. Pretty decorative. Bond Avenue. I don't know what that tower is at all. So many buildings I'm looking at, I don't have a clue what they are. I'm not from Portland. I don't know shit about this. Oh, that's neat. Here you got lower street signs for people who are walking, and then much bigger, higher up street signs for people who are driving that need to see the street at a distance, street sign at a distance. That's interesting. At least I find it interesting. I've always been fascinated with street signs, especially ones that have 100 blocks on them. I find it interesting that these ones just say South Bond Avenue, South Whitaker Street, whereas up there it says Southwest Bond Avenue, Southwest Whitaker Street. The prefixes on the streets here are used completely differently than they are in Phoenix. In Phoenix, if it's indicated as north or south, that just tells you whether the numbering on that street is north or south of Washington Street. Now, it's in Phoenix. It's a little different in some other municipalities, and I'm not even in Phoenix, so I'm not going to carry on any more than that. It's a subject for another time. But and then east or west is indicative of whether the street is east or west of Central Avenue. I smell chlorine, pool water. Just throwing that out there, since I can't record smells. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. This almost looks like maybe it used to be a warehouse district that got gentrified and repurposed, looking at those buildings. That's kind of neat looking. There's the cables for the tram going up. Go by train. Center for Health and Healing. Anyway, the prefixes here seem to just be indicative of what corner of the town you're in, what quadrant you're in, whether it's northwest, southwest, northeast, or southeast. So it's seeming odd. I'm not used to these ones that say, see, that just says South Gibbs Street, and then that one there says Southwest Moody Avenue. Oh, and that is so faded. So faded. Oh, that's neat. Look, there's a bike signal. So that green light there is actually for this bike path. With a really short red light. That car actually had to stop for the bike signal. I'm assuming this odd-looking light is for the streetcar. Oh no, that's the bike lane signal as well. The bike's here. I find that interesting that street sign is so thoroughly faded. One thing I've noticed is kind of an issue here, and that's not much of an issue in Phoenix. It's a hell of an issue here in Portland. Is faded street signs to the point they're illegible. And this is clearly a newer style of street sign, and they already faded to the point it's nearly illegible. So it's somebody should have done some testing on that before they built it. So I did just go up that elevator there, but I'm going to take y'all with on the stairs. I walked up the stairs last time, and honestly, I walked up the stairs because the elevator looked closed. Cool looking landscaping underneath it. Not sure what's up with those geodesic domes, but that area is closed off. One thing I'm loving about Portland is just how there's so many layers to it, so many bridges that are up above developed city. There's really not much of that in Phoenix. I mean, the only spot I can really think of is like the downtown viaducts on 7th Street and 7th Avenue that go across the train tracks. And then also you've got the chunk of I-10 that is elevated between like I-17 and 15th Avenue. Other than that, Phoenix doesn't have much in the way of layers to it. So we got another street over here, some more bus routes. I've yet to really get I've seen a bus map, but it's kind of hard to understand. I've yet to really get a grip of where the individual bus routes run. It seems like a lot of them just kind of wind all over the place as opposed to just going down a single street. Like there's 3 that serve here. The sign says destinations. 35 to University of Portland, 36 to Portland rush hour only. Yeah, that's a thing here. Here they got a lot of bus routes that are rush hour only, but they're not like the Phoenix Express rush hour only buses that just go from downtown Phoenix to generally parking rides on the outside. These are ones that are local bus routes, but they just run during rush hour. And then we got 99 Center in Selwood. I see a lot of these signs as well. TriMet with a stop ID. There's a QR code. I can't seem to figure out how to get QR codes to work on this phone. They were never anything to deal with on my iPhone. Just open up the camera and a link pops up and I click it, but it just doesn't seem to work on this stupid phone. But let's see. The 99 isn't listed here, but at least we got like sort of a map of where Route 35 goes and where Route 36 goes. This portion of Line 36 runs weekday rush hour mornings only. Yeah, I've yet to really find a good resource for bus schedules. So I haven't been using the buses much, just because it just seems like there's so many buses that just don't run very often. And, a lot of the bus stops, that's all you got. You got a sign and a place to pop a squat. Now this is an interesting street because it looks more like a freeway or a freeway access road than a street, but it's got a sidewalk and it's got a bus stop. So yeah, definitely the pedestrian experience in Portland is a polar opposite of Phoenix, but I'm enjoying it. I'm just enjoying walking around, not having any place I need to be, and not being anywhere near my apartment, because that was really bringing me down, being there. Just the current state of the apartment and the current state of the relationship with the person I'm sharing the apartment with. So I will give her credit. She did send me an email around noon yesterday. I didn't respond to it. Don't touch me. That's, anytime I touch her, that's pretty much all she has to say to me is don't touch me, and that's just kind of how I feel at this point as well. So I'd much rather be wandering the streets of Portland alone, which is what I'm doing. So here we go. So let's see, I've rolled video for 10 minutes and I'm almost right back where I started. Oh yeah, this is such a fun way to waste time. Whew, these are a lot of stairs. I think I'll share with you all the sign that somebody put up regarding the broken elevator. Yeah, and just the condition of that door and was what kind of gave me the indication, made me think that the elevator was probably closed or out of service. But yeah, tired of broken elevators. And just some contact information for people that handle that sort of thing. I dig this. This is just sort of a lookout that I was looking at from down below. This view is really something. I forget what freeway that is. I think it's the 405, but I'm not 100% sure. But looking southbound, going towards Eugene. And I forget the name of that street. I was just on it. Moody. That's Moody. And I'm looking down. I forget the name of that bridge. I think it's Ross Island Bridge. I could be wrong. I think I might walk over that. That's something I did a lot of. Oh, and that looks like a pricey residential building. The Emery. And that's kind of interesting. Looks like there's a street sign down there, and just a little tiny stub of a street that I get the feeling was probably a through street before the freeway was built. There are a lot of urban freeways in Portland compared to Phoenix, and you can kind of tell where they've ate away from chunks of the city, but not as much as people like to complain about urban freeways destroying cities. At some places, it just seems to just snake underneath the city, with every single city street just going over the top of it. Anyway, this is a really cool looking pedestrian overpass. I love these sorts of things. We got the tram lines above, and there's one of the tram support towers. So bummed I can't ride the tram. And there's the freeway down below. Actually, that was the street that I was on. It's definitely, I can't put my finger on whether that's a city street or not. Like, it looks like freeway ramps, but there's that sidewalk on the right. There's somebody. Oh, look, there's a homeless Portland person. Looks like moving a mattress. Oh, I wish that was more focused. What the fuck is going on over there? Anyway, yeah, the sidewalk continues on down that way. We got 43 City Center. I'm assuming that shape indicates a state highway. Then we got South 5, Ross Island Bridge, Salem, East 26, and then this here for North 5, East 84, Seattle. I really don't think this freeway is the 5. It could be, though. I haven't really learned the freeways here because I haven't really been driving here. Although Allison did let me drive her car a little bit this morning. We went out to Mulholland Falls, which is absolutely beautiful. And just love all the bridges, just the layers and layers of bridges. So yeah, we went out to Mulholland Falls and we hiked. I think I mentioned that in the last video. And then I went ahead and drove back. Pretty much took the freeway straight in until we got to downtown Portland, and then I got off the freeway and told her that I said, I think I know where I'm going. I want to take the scenic route, and she was just cool with it. Didn't say anything. This is cool. I mean, it's her car, not my car, but anyway, at one point I got really off track, and she was thoroughly amused. She does get super nervous when I'm popping up my phone trying to look at Google Maps while I'm driving. But look at the road. I'm like, yeah, I do this all the time. Don't stress it. Don't sweat it. Granted, I haven't done a lot of it in the last 6 months, but anyway, that's pretty trippy. Got a ramp coming off the freeway, and then we've got a city street that is functioning as a freeway, and my God, people are driving fast on it. And then another bridge that goes completely across it. I don't know what speed he's going, but that's pretty fast. for what appears to essentially be a city street. So yeah, this is still Gibbs. I kind of figured it was. I can't see what the name of the street is that people are using like a freeway directly below me. Hood Street. Well, I think I'm just going to keep walking up Gibbs and let y'all see it as I experience it. So apparently this overpass is considered a bike route, as is that elevator, which is interesting to me. I like the bicycle stop sign. And that appears to be a sidewalk that goes along Gibbs, what was Gibbs Street, before the building of this pedestrian bicycle overpass, down to Hood Street. It's kind of neat that the sidewalk is still there. Not sure what that sign was supposed to be, but it's horribly graffitied. Yeah, that's one thing that makes me sad, is that there's just so much graffiti in Portland. I mean, they put up these really nice signs for cyclists to let you know how close things are and directions and not only in miles but estimated time to get places, and people graffiti it up. And that just seems like a shitty way to show appreciation for something that's nice that other cities don't have. This is interesting. I've just noticed this here. This is South Kelly Avenue, but I can kind of see, looking at this thing, that it was changed from southwest to south. I don't think the video is catching it, but I can kind of catch in the sun that there's a sticker there, and underneath it used to say southwest. The same thing there. It used to say Southwest Gibbs, now it says south. I get the feeling if I'd walked in front of that person, they'd just stop. I do notice people do stop for pedestrians here, unlike Phoenix. There's the Ross Island Bridge, Mount Hood. That's kind of trippy. Like, you got, it's almost like freeway ramps, but it is a street. Then you've got where Kelly Street kind of used to go before these ramps were put in, with some historic houses on it. And then something that is very distinctly Portland. Almost any place that you've got like some just public easement, I'm assuming that's like highway department property right there. You've got people living in tents. It's an intense situation. Dig those houses. You can only imagine what those cost. And I get the feeling some of them aren't even in really that good a shape. Much like that chain link fence. It seems like it's seen better days. Apparently I'm pretty lucky to have 2 days in a row that are mostly dry. It was a little wet this morning, but since I came out this afternoon, I think I left my daughter's house around 3 p.m. It's been really nice, really nice. I mean, it's overcast, it's a little chilly, but it's other than that, it's pretty darn nice weather. It's like in the mid 60s. So, got my jacket on, I'm comfy. This is really trippy to me. It's like not quite a street, not quite a freeway. I said I was going to walk up the aerial tram line, but wow, I dig that house. I'd love to have a house like that, but I would really hate to have people camping adjacent to me like that. Here we got more bus stops. Notice most bus stops seem to be serviced by multiple routes. And here we got 19 and 66. Mount Scott and 112 and 66 Express to Hollywood Transit Center. I'm getting the feeling I'm not going to figure out the bus system by the time I'm here, Except sidewalks, no trespassing. Yeah, I can tell people care about that. It's quite the encampment there. And these piles of trash are kind of disheartening. It looks like that's part of the bridge. Sort of a grill with ground underneath it, but yeah, people have just piled so much trash. I mean, it's still a beautiful city, but just think how much more beautiful it would be if it wasn't for all this trash. And yeah, that guy stopped for me. I'm just so not used to cars stopping for pedestrians after all my time living in Phoenix. Oh, here's a sign for it. Grover Street, ODOT. Route US 26, Highway 26. Interesting. Oh, damn. Almost tripped on the vines there. Yeah, I was going to walk underneath the tramway, but I think I'm going to walk over the Ross Bridge. Ross Island Bridge. Or maybe I'm not. Wow. That explains why this sidewalk is not clear. It gets me to right here and says pedestrians prohibited. Does look to be a sidewalk on the other side. There's not a crosswalk from where I'm at to get to the other side. So, And for the most part, it's been pedestrian friendly, but then I hit places like this where I'm confused as to where the hell I'm supposed to go. Because the crosswalk brought me to here. Here we have what looks like streets that existed before this bridge and freeway was put in that have been capped off. You still got the old nubs of the street kind of down there, disconnected. Fuck it, it's clear. I'm just going to jaywalk. All right, I'm on the other side. There's a sidewalk on the other side. This area is just really mind-bending to me. Like, there's so many lanes and ramps going under and over and merging and little encampments of tents and the spaces in between. And then will look like pedestrian paths, but where do they go? I don't know. I'm sure there was a pedestrian route to get to where I'm at, but damned if I could tell where it was. There's some pretty towers over in that part of town that all look super new, and that's where I was along Moody. As you see, I'm south of downtown right now. That is downtown to the north of me, and the freeway going into downtown. 405. It was 405. 404 north to Beaverton. North to 26 West Beaverton. 26. Highway 26 is the one that goes out towards Beaverton and oh hell, I forget the name of the next town past Beaverton. Which where I'm staying. And then the rail I've been riding, the red line, it parallels. Once it comes out of the underground area where I started my last video, not this one, the video before it, when it comes out of the underground area, it's along Highway 26. And it pretty much parallels Highway 26 all the way out going west. I can see some more homeless encampments down there, kind of hidden down in the trees. So many intertwining ramps. But yeah, I get the feeling that this used to be a neighborhood here, and just all got eliminated by all these bridges and ramps and stuff. It'll be interesting to see a map of Portland that predates it. Now that bridge over there is pretty neat. It's like the streetcar goes over it. In fact, that bridge looks like it's probably exclusively light rail, streetcar, and pedestrian. I don't see any vehicles, any motor vehicles going over the top of it. It's a cool looking building right there. I have no idea what it is or what its purpose is. And that's a large transit center right down there too, where a bunch of the different rails connect. And I didn't get off. I was actually already on the north-south streetcar. As a Phoenician, it's just weird for me to see a river that has water in it. But, I've heard Portland called the city of bridges before, and there's certainly that's fitting. There's this big river that cuts right through the middle of it. I forgot the name of the damn river. But yeah, so many bridges. This one I'm on, the Ross Island Bridge. It functions like a freeway, but there's a pedestrian sidewalk on it that I'm on the one side. And it does seem to, I think it's City Street on the other side, although on this side, it didn't look like what I would consider city streets. Not sure what that big field is underneath me there. Oh, and of course it's not a divided highway. We got 2 lanes each direction and a couple of yellow lines in the middle. A lot of traffic on this road. Yeah, looking off to the north, that bridge there looks like it's just passenger rail and pedestrians. I do see people walking and biking across it. And then the next bridge is freeway. I'm not sure if that's the 5 or the 405. I tend to get the freeway numbers confused here. And a lot of that has to do with the way Google Maps works. When I zoom in on a freeway, Google Maps doesn't give me the freeway number. It gives me the name of the freeway, which is a name nobody ever uses, like Fallen Veterans Memorial Freeway or something. There's no signs that say that on any of these freeways. I don't understand why they're labeled like that in Google Maps. It just seems like it'd be easier to just put the interstate badge or the U.S. highway badge on it. So when I zoom in, I can see what the fuck that freeway is. Yeah, I find that fascinating how the freeway bridge is double-decker, lanes going eastbound on the top, lanes going westbound underneath on the bottom. I don't think there's any pedestrian access on that bridge up there. And those ramps approaching it, that's really something. Part of me wants to walk underneath it, and part of me a little nervous about doing that because I got a feeling that's going to be a super sketchy homeless people kind of area. And like the area I just walked through, you saw there were several encampments, but I didn't actually see any people going in and out of the tents. Yeah, those look like very expensive new residential towers in the area where I started. That's that area where I got in the view right now. That's more or less where I was when I started this video. Hope y'all can hear me. This traffic is fucking loud. Interesting docks on the other side of the river. Various types of boats at them. I find this kind of interesting too, how you can see the original cast form factor of the bridge, which looks like it was pretty decorative, and then it's been obstructed with those metal safety barricades. I really wish those metal safety barricades were between me and the cars, as opposed to between me and the wow, what an asshole. It's the first time I've had a person scream at me out of a car while walking here. I get that quite a bit in Phoenix, but first time I've had it happen here. But I get the feeling not a lot of people walk over this bridge because it's pretty long. Milwaukee, Oregon City, next right. Gresham, Mount Hood, Highway 26 straight ahead. I feel like I drove over this bridge with Allison the last time I was here when we were doing the Uber Eats thing. We were actually going to do that this morning, but there were just no orders coming in, and then she suggested that I go see Mulholland Falls. Oh, nice trike. She suggested I go see Mulholland Falls, and I'm really glad I did.